Hello, ladies and gentlemen, king and queens, and welcome to Green Pastures presents the Young Adult Sessions. Now, this is a session that we get to sit down with young people to tackle different experiences based on how they have overcome their challenges in their journey of life. I am Tatoma JK, and I'm not alone. I am with my co-host, Lasizwe.
Lasizwe.
Lazarus. I am with my co-host, Lazzy. And today in the studio, we have the beautiful, smart,
Wonderful.
intelligent Fiona.
Thank you so much, guys.
Welcome,
Miss
babes.
Fiona.
Thank you very much.
You can quickly introduce yourself and let's just go straight to it.
Alrighty, guys. My name is Fiona Masipa. I'm the beautiful flower herself, like she already knows. So yeah. So I'm just here just to visit the people and tell them more about a lot of things. I'm not gonna give you a hint yet, but they will let you know what's up.
Okay. So, Miss Fiona, tell us the beautiful flower. Where does that come from?
Well, what I can tell you about the name, the beautiful flower, is actually from my late mentor, who actually believed in me more than anybody else. So literally, he kind of gave me the name Fiona, meaning beautiful flower, because I grew up with a low self-esteem. So that actually boosted my confidence in a way. So every time a person calls me Fiona, it actually means a lot. It makes me be able to actually do things that I never thought I'd do, actually. So yeah.
So, you mentioned that you grew up with self-esteem issues. Care to share that with everyone?
The old me wouldn't be able to, but today actually I'm glad that I'm able to do that. Because with low self-esteem, it's not something that just comes out of nowhere.
Yes.
It was created by something and some stuff and people. So literally, I grew up as a chubby little girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was fat.
Okay.
I was fat. No guy in high school ever looked my way. They always looked at my best friend. So I kind of had that kind of problem.
So were you longing for that to happen to you?
As a young person in primary school, I was not fat or anything, but the whole thing changed in high school. So literally in high school, you reach a point where there's adolescent, there's also those kind of things, teenage years, where literally as a young lady, you also want attention from guys. I never got that chance, actually. That's one thing I can tell you.
So that contributed to your
It
low
actually
self-esteem.
contributed to a lot of those stuff, including my family as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from there, how did you feel going forward and how it impacted your life trying to navigate those years?
So literally, besides all of that, when you go through low self-esteem, it actually doesn't end at all. I thought it was going to end, but as time goes by, as I was growing up, literally there were times where I would feel lonely because of how I felt and everything else. And then I ended up repeating classes, especially in grade 11, where I repeated grade 11 twice. And it was something that was bad, that was painful, but something in me, like my late mentor when he was still alive, he actually told me, he's like, you know what, as much as you're afraid to go back to school and face people because you're afraid that they're going to laugh at you and everything else, go back, let them laugh, it's cool. You will cry about it, it's okay. It's still going to be hard. But I went there, I went through all those things, I repeated. But the third year when I went to grade 11, I actually changed my subjects. I did something for me for once, and then I passed. And then I went to grade 12, I passed all my terms, and then the last term, I failed again.
How?
It took my late mentor again to tell me, go back again, rewrite in that same very school. They're going to do the very same thing that they did. I did that. I passed my matric. Great stuff. And then afterwards, something in me told me that, you know what? There's a motivation that people live by. Let me try to live by it. Where Maya Angelou said, if you don't like something, change it.
Change it.
I did not like the way I looked. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to exercise. I'm going to cut off on a lot of things. I realized that my mom always bought me donuts and everything else. That's one thing I don't like right now. So I cut it off completely. And then I started exercising from my house, actually,
Yeah.
till I was able to literally jog outside. So all of that changed. It went from the way I looked, my confidence changed completely out of that. So actually, I won't say I'm better now, but like I said, even my late mentor, he would still say this right now when he's still alive, that confidence and all of those low self-esteem doesn't end. You just learn to live
To live with it.
like
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah. So ever since you've started exercising, how are you feeling now? Is your confidence back,
My confidence is back, but it's not 100%.
Fiona?
No, I'm being honest. I think it's because of the life challenges, the people that you meet.
Okay.
So all of those things kind of make you rewind to how you used to be. There are a lot of whys, why not me's, all of those things are there. So literally you just learn to figure out, how am I going to do this for the sake of it?
Okay.
So can I ask this question? Who is Fiona? Who is this beautiful flower? Who is Fiona? Just explain that to me.
Fiona is I won't say I'm shy, but I'm a very quiet people around people I don't know. I tend to read people first.
Okay.
I'm a very talented young lady. I'm very creative in mind. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm quiet. When I'm quiet, I'm actually able to observe a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I can create something out of that. I'm a very loving, kind. Even though I go through all of those things, even though I meet different kind of people, I'm friendly and I'm also very forgiving.
Okay.
In those kind of things that not a lot of people would forgive, but I'm very forgiving.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've kind of mentioned your mentor in a few lines already right now, and what I realized is that you mentioned your mentor in a late stage. So tell us more about this mentor. of
Well,
yours.
my mentor, he mentored me from high school. So literally, he was the only person that believed in me. Even that's why I say some stuff are affected by your parents as well. My parents did not believe in me as much as this man did.
Okay.
No matter how many failures I went through, he still believed that I can become somebody else. I am somebody else, and I actually can accomplish a lot. Even though, because where I come from, not a lot of people believe that they're gonna make it. That's actually how we grew up. Even the environment on its own doesn't show you where you're going. So that man believed in me, and I also believed in myself because of him, because he traveled the world a lot.
Yeah.
Even though he was from that place, he always said, "No, you're gonna make it. No matter how, you never know tomorrow, but just believe that you're gonna make it." So this man actually believed in me more than myself, more than anybody else around me.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you have a son now, right? Tell us about him. Tell us about that journey with your son.
So with my child, as much as I say I'm learning to live with this thing of low self-esteem and everything else, this young man, that's actually, he was healing no matter what, because he came at a time where, when sometimes pregnancies are not planned.
Yes.
But when he came, that's why people don't understand why I named him that name. But the meaning behind it made me realize that actually I'm thankful despite what I went through.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he healed me. He made me have a reason to actually fight back no matter what. And also how my parents raised me, I feel like I became a mother to actually be able to mother my son in a different way so that he cannot
Okay.
grow up the same way I did.
Okay.
So yeah, he is actually a blessing, and I'm happy to have him in my life.
Okay. So going forward, from having your mentor passed and going through the healing of having your son, how has that shaped who you are?
Well, literally, it shaped me from the way that I'm able to move on from people who don't want me then in their lives, places that I'm not appreciated. I was not one of those people who's actually able to move on. I was actually always clinging on people. But because I have the love, that's why they say when you give birth to your son, it's like you're giving birth to that new love that you've always wanted. So right now, when I think about my son, despite what people think about me, despite of all of the things that I go through every single day of my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? There's one person that actually believes in me, like my child. So rather, I walk tall despite anything. One thing that my son reminds me of every single day I wake up is that no matter how painful it is, get up, look good, and act like nothing is happening. That's just about it.
Okay. Well, even those things are happening. I understand. It's powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
Because there are people watching out there. So
Yes.
people that hate you as well, don't give them that satisfaction.
Okay. No, it's a great philosophy to live by.
True.
So tell us about your depression. How did that come about?
Depression is actually something that started from when I was young, not in high school, but in primary school. And it's something that one of my primary school teachers actually realized before anybody else, where the point where she even called in my mom to ask her, why does your child always have fear? And then that's when my teacher sat down with my mom and she's like, do you understand that sometimes the way you talk to a child, the way you decide for them, no matter how young they are, it actually creates fear and not respect towards you. So it made me grow up with fear of not being able to decide for myself, not be able to know what's right for myself, not be able to actually love myself the way I am because of how I was raised. So it started from when I was in primary school. I think the loud noises that my parents always made, that was fear. And then it grew even more when I went to high school, when I faced rejection, when I faced those low self-esteems about how I looked. It even grew more when I repeated grade 11 and 12. So those things kind of made me be afraid of fear, made me feel like I was less of and I'm not worth anything in this world.
Okay.
So those things kind of made it worse because as time goes, you get out of school, you feel like you can fly, but where I am from, they did not make me feel like I was able to fly. There was always something holding me back, which is my family. So literally depression started from then and it grew. And let me tell you something, it does not get better. One of my friends once told me after she also discovered that she had depression. She's like, how do you live with your depression? How do you cope? I'm like, we as people have different kinds of depression. And I can't tell you how to deal with yours.
Okay.
Exactly.
I learned to live by mine any way that I can. Because right now, when you have depression, you live with survival mode. That is just about it, actually. And people don't understand, especially Black people.
Yes.
Because when you try to tell them, because I grew up with this depression that most of my family members did not understand it to a point where there were times when I had suicidal thoughts and everything else.
Yeah.
And they still made it about
Been through
themselves.
that.
They made it about themselves to a point where I realized that, you know what? It's time for me to stop talking to these people. But people don't understand that when you stop talking, when you stop posting on statuses and everything else, that's when a person kills themselves in silence. And you still ask yourself why.
Why? What happened?
But you still didn't want to be
Yes.
brought into it.
But did you make them aware of your situation, your depression situation?
One thing about me, I talk.
Yeah.
So literally, I spoke to my family members and everything else, but their response always has been, nah, you know what? We all go through stuff. You need to just get up and own it. In my mind, I was like, we are different people. Some people don't moan with problems the way you do.
The same.
I deal with problems my own way. If I don't cry, if I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to recover from that. So other people, my family members expected me to just be okay with whatever comes my way.
Okay.
And that will never be it. So I realized that they knew. And for me, it's like they didn't care. So I just learned to cope with
Even
it.
your mother.
Even my own mother.
No, I think generally in a society that we generally find ourselves in, especially as young adults that went through your early 2000s and stuff, our biggest op has always been that the way in which our parents look at life is different from how we actually get to live it.
Sure.
We have moments whereby everything breaks us down to the core. But they still want you to remain grateful for the little opportunities that you have that they didn't have. So there's always that clash in between, and a misunderstanding is always there. That's what creates rifts with families and stuff.
Yeah.
And judging from what you were saying, it's something similar to that. And I would really love to find out more on how that progressed going forward and how it affected you, you know.
Well, with everything else, even right now, what I
Yes.
can tell you guys that I am still going through the process of depression, and I'm able to talk about it right now because I've learned to accept that it's actually part of me.
Okay.
But don't you think that's the problem? You accepting that depression is a part of you. Why is it like possible to just forget about it, let it go, as if like you never had it? Is it possible? Because I've never been in that
You know,
state.
I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but that's why I say every time there's always a different challenge. Sometimes you say, okay, fine, I'm going to learn to let go of this certain thing, this illness and everything else. But there's always something that triggers it back.
Oh, okay.
So every situation that goes, whether it's next year, whether it's next month, it will take you back to where you actually left it off. From instance, I would leave this place positive, with that confidence that I want to move forward. But then comes a time or something happens out there. Literally, that will trigger me. That is why they say people with depression never heal, because there's always something that triggers you back to
so
that.
you
point.
learn to live with
You
depression.
learn
it's
to live
like,
with it.
Your friendly demon friend that you carry with everywhere you go.
Yo,
And the tricky part is actually having to figure out your own demon. How you actually going to befriend that demon so that you don't find yourself hanging from a ceiling.
So it's not easy, guys. And I feel like I wish and pray that Black people would literally realize that this is a serious issue.
it
Because
is.
I'm grateful that till when I was young, and this age, I'm
Yes.
still alive and still trying to survive.
How do you
Yes.
do that, Fiona? How do you do? Because many people do not even come out of that state.
People
they
say-
end up killing themselves.
Yeah, people say actually, that's why I say my son was a healer.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer of crying, guys. No matter how many times people might say, no, you're stupid for crying over that guy. No, you're stupid for crying over these things. But let me tell you something. When I get inside my house, I cry, I hit the floor, I do all of those things. After a few hours, my eyes are fine. I wiped all my tears. I'm laughing again. That's actually me taking out all the pain. So that next day, when I meet up with people, I actually took out, even though it's not all of it, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And also, people sometimes think that I just exercise to be fit only. It's not only about that anymore. It's about, that's why I tell people that I cannot start my day without an exercise,
exercise,
because
yeah.
it keeps me sane.
It's part of your therapy.
It's just part of therapy for me.
Okay.
Speaking of therapy, have you went to like therapy straight, whereby there's a person sitting across from you?
I tried it once. And I did have a session with a person. It was after I was hit by a car once. So my mom was like, nah, you should go to therapy because they're saying you're struggling in school and stuff. I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. I spoke to a person for that day. And then the next day I realized that actually talking to people, I don't feel comfortable with it.
Okay.
That is why people who know me know that when I write something, it's because it's from within. So I rather write, be creative, than talk to people about what's happening. So yeah.
I want you to take me back to the depression state. What goes through your mind when you are in that darkness? What is happening in your mind?
I like the fact that you say it's darkness, because it is dark. When you go through that depression mode, guys, you don't think about anyone else. As much as my son is healing me, he's my gift. I don't think about anybody else when I'm going through that. My mind is dark, is equipped about what's happening right now. I don't want to see tomorrow. I know that even if I'm a Christian, by the way, but when you go through that process, you don't even believe in your prayers anymore. You be like, okay, Your mind is shut. You just scream, you hit everything that you find, like you lose control of yourself. That is why most people that go through this, they don't go through it around people. That is why most of them have anxiety as well. One small thing can tip me off because of that. And it creates anger as well. So that actually is a dark mode where you don't think about anybody else. You don't think about your surroundings. That is why most people do that when there's nobody around.
Okay.
So literally, that is why you have to also keep busy.
Okay. So apart from exercising, were there any other coping mechanisms that you employed? For example, there are people that would self-harm in order to try and numb the pain of the mind, maybe with the pain of the flesh.
I used to cut my hands. So literally, that used to be my coping mechanism, to a point where I would even show up at work sometimes with bandages and everything just to hide, or maybe long sleeve tops. That actually was coping mechanism for me. Still, my family shouted at me for that, but they did not want to understand why are you doing this. They still made it about themselves. So it took me a while to actually stop doing that, but yeah, that was one of my coping mechanisms actually.
Do you still have suicidal thoughts?
They come and go. That's one thing I can tell you. They come and go.
Sure.
And the self-harm, is it something that you also still consider?
That one I haven't been doing in a while, and I'm grateful for it.
Okay.
But suicidal thoughts, they still come and go. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, we all live with those. I do.
With suicidal thoughts.
Hey, come on! I'm a dude. Almost every dude goes through that.
Most guys.
Really?
Most guys.
I
Actually.
said almost all, not everyone. Some people live
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. But I do want us to actually impact. I want us to actually unpack. Yours, guys. Like unpack more on this, because what I realized, Gore, there are things that when you talk about, I relate to, having been someone who went through depression, you know. So like, so that there'll be a little tidbits that the viewers can try and take away from, and realize that it's not something that you are going through alone. Everyone goes through stuffs like this, and there's a way in and out of it, and there are ways in which you can cope with this and move forward. You know, so I would like to know, like, how you actually put everything in place in order to be the beautiful flower.
Well, I'm one person. For instance, before anything, I plan my day. That is why small stuff make me angry. If I want my day to be like this, in my mind, it has to be like that. If it's distracted by something else, my whole day is going to be, I'm going to be miserable for the whole day. So that's just about me. So that is why I say I start my day with an exercise. Because my exercise, after an exercise, I'm able to actually calm myself down and be like, okay, this is how it's going to be. This is what I'm going to do every single day. Because if I don't do planning for that day, I'm literally not going to know where I'm going. I can even get mad at people out of nowhere for no reason. So that's why I'm saying it has to be planned, no matter what.
Even when there are no plans to
Even
make.
though there are no plans, I have to plan my day.
So
I have to plan that, okay, after waking up, I'm going to exercise. After exercising, I'm going to pray. After praying, I literally am going to watch this and this and this. I don't just switch on TV.
Okay.
So I have to plan all of those things.
So, would it be safe to assume that it's sort of like an OCD type of thing?
Depression creates that.
Okay.
People get irritated.
There's a
of me.
lot, that comes with depression.
Creates all of that to a point where even people that I work with, sometimes they even know me, for instance, if I'm disturbed in my mind about something that triggered me. Just because I don't talk, I overwork myself. They'll be like, are you okay?
Okay.
I'm fine. but they know I will create work even though there's no work.
Yeah.
I'll be lifting we have stairs at work, so there will be heavy boxes that we have to take upstairs. I will not even be asking anybody, can you come and help me?
Yeah.
I will literally be lifting boxes all by myself and be like, I'm fine. I just
Yeah.
want to work. And I'll be doing all that work quiet, but my mind is busy. So for me to switch off the busyness that's happening in here, I need to work. And it has to keep on coming, no matter what.
Yeah.
You've mentioned again how you are creative. So how does that translate it in helping you with your depression? Like, what is it that you create, if you don't mind sharing?
No, bro. I actually write scripts. I write poems. I just write things that are creative. I don't know if I can literally put words together and it will make sense to me. After it makes sense to me, most people will actually understand it in the end, especially people who are in the creative world, like myself. So literally, for me, when I create those kind of poems and those things in writing, even though I'm saying I'm releasing, I'm actually helping somebody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
while doing that. So
Yeah.
that's my creative mode, actually.
So, Fiona, this depression thing, I think it depresses me right now.
No, usawara, man. Those that go through this will understand.
Yeah.
So, like, in that moment, because you said you don't think about anyone, you don't care about anyone.
At all.
Have you gotten to a point whereby, no, man, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Let me just look, even if I don't want to attempt to kill myself, let me just end it.
There was I'm not going to say attempt, but there was a time where my sister found me on the floor. I drank something.
Oh my God.
So it actually was off. My mind was dark. I could not think about anything because I felt like, okay, even though I seek help from my so-called friend, even though I seek help from my family, they're still not going to understand. Rather shut it down and then take myself out of this world. Maybe they'd be at ease.
Yeah.
So at that time, I was like, you know what, it's fine. Also, there was a time where it was shut to a point. I don't know what told me to get out of the house, but I realized what was happening when a car just stood in front of me. I didn't know where I was going. I don't know where I was, but I was walking outside of my house. So literally, I was almost hit by a car. Yet I was walking, but I didn't know what was happening. So everything switched off once they hooted in front of me. So yeah.
So like it's like a demon
It's
taking
like sort of a
control
demon.
over you.
Yeah. You don't have control over yourself when that happens.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm shattered.
Guys, it's a lot.
No,
It's a lot.
I get it for one. I think.
So is there any types of depressions?
I can't name them, but professionals did say that there are names given to them. But I realized with someone that I knew that actually, even though I don't know the name of your depression, it's actually different from mine because we were behaving differently. There are other people who actually behave in a certain way. I behave in a certain way. So I won't tell you that, okay, Tatu, this is how you can do it. I don't know what's going on. And those depressions are created to be different because we go through different stuff in life. So that is why they are different.
Okay. So how does your partner take it? I suppose you have a partner. Am I lying?
Navigating
You know what,
relationships.
guys? Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I would be honest, recently, I don't know if I should say it, but I'm going to say it. I had a miscarriage
Oh.
No.
with someone that I've been with for 3 years. And that person literally kind of didn't want the child because they brought another woman in our relationship.
Oh no.
And I accepted it. It's like, it's fine. But should I leave? They're like, no, you can stay because I still love you. I stayed. I got pregnant. And then they wanted an abortion.
What?
They wanted.
They wanted. He wanted the abortion. And then while going through that, I was still going to work. I overworked myself. I felt nobody knew at work until one of my colleagues found out. I fell on the step ladder because, like I said, I overwork myself when something is going on in my mind.
Yeah.
I fell. While I fell, something happened, literally. That's when I miscarried. And then the guy gave me money to go check if the baby is really out. That's what he said.
Wow.
And then I found out that, I had a miscarriage. So then afterward, I'm one person. I believe in love. I'm forgiving. No matter what happened, I'm able to fall in love again. So literally, afterwards, I got into a relationship with somebody. Yes. But I'm one person, guys. What you showed me from the very beginning, it needs to continue. So
Yeah.
right now, I don't know if I should say I'm in a relationship or not. I don't know.
It's complicated.
They should decide for me because I don't know.
But you
Literally.
can't
What's
leave stuff
happening?
like
I
that.
don't
happening?
know. I also don't know. I don't want to lie. I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
but you can't leave stuffs like that to someone else's decision. Take charge, make decision. You
Like I
are a
say,
planner,
I
plan your
push-
day, plan that too.
in a relationship, I push where I can.
Yeah.
If you can't meet me halfway, I'm gonna step back and then you decide on that. But if you hear that she's married, next day don't blame me. It's on you because I pushed as much as I can. Now
you give
it's up to you.
the energy. that
Yes,
is
I give
being
you what you
reciprocated.
give me.
Yeah.
That's why I say I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Fifi, I'm sorry about your miscarriage.
no, it's okay.
I'm
It's,
so sorry,
life.
baby.
That's
And how
really
you dealing with that?
heartbreaking.
it's painful. Once in a while it comes, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I'm just glad I'm able to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can only imagine that it probably compounded on everything else. Yeah, but I really am happy that you can put this giant smile that you have.
Me being able to put on this smile is because of what I've been through, what I'm going through. And it gives me confidence to talk about it because there's someone who's crying in silence in a corner right now.
Yeah.
They actually might succeed
Yeah.
in doing something that is tragic.
Yeah.
Yes.
But me talking about this actually makes me realize that I'm helping someone that is actually
True.
like me.
True.
So yeah.
True.
That's one of the biggest mission statement of the young adult sessions.
Yeah.
So we get to talk about these stuffs so that people can see that everyone goes through life differently.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
there might be similarities to some things that I am going through, and that can help me get healing.
Yeah.
We created this platform for that very purpose.
Yeah.
To try and help one another navigate this treacherous neighborhood called adulthood.
Yeah.
It ain't fun.
It's not easy.
It doesn't
Not
have a
fun. And
formula.
we're actually educating our black parents. as well.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
that will also. But I think the ship sailed. I don't know. Might be.
That is true, actually. I might
Yeah.
support you on that.
Yeah. So the best way to come out of it is educate one another.
True.
Each
Yeah.
one teach
True.
one.
True.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, thank you, Fiona, for coming.
Yeah. No,
This
it's
has been a very, very impactful session.
yeah.
Beautiful.
I feel like I've
can
released.
Really feel or when you took out a whole lot more out of this.
Actually, I did.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. You learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
that
have
you
learned.
can actually recognize
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah.
Because we have this whole thing as a society whereby we treat one another in ways that sometimes are not ideal. But being able to recognize, being able to feel, being able to see, you can then put yourself in another person's
True.
shoes
True.
and actually be kind to one another.
That is why there's
Yeah.
true. Be kind to one another, no matter whether you know me or not, be
Yes.
kind. Because you
Yeah.
never know what a person is
It's
going through. Actually.
Yes.
So being
What you
always
kind,
say or
important.
do might be the last straw.
true.
That's
Never
actually
know whether you might drive that person to being insane or to doing something insane for just saying one horrible thing.
Yeah. So it's very important to, be kind to one another.
Yes.
Let's spread love. Let love
True.
lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love no
Humanity.
matter what, guys.
Okay.
No matter what.
So, Miss Fiona,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
You can.
Oh, thank you. As our outro for
Okay.
this week's episode, I would like for you to hit us with one of your best poems.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
Oh,
That's
my
a good one. That's a good
one
one.
that holds healing, one that would
Oh my
put a
God.
brighter spin to this whole thing.
Okay, I'm gonna combine something, but let me just do it.
Thank you.
Working hard pays off, but having fun is necessary. Love is important, but hate some people can't get rid of. Allow me to demonstrate. Do your homework, play game, go on a date. Next thing you know, it's break up and hate. Learn to love, learn to smile, learn to go without denial. Then our world won't be so horrible.
Come on now.
You know, I can take that to play. Not my personality, but your style, your feelings. Be the best you can be. Be true to yourself. My heart was ripped apart by a gloomy shadow. Like a cloud so black it came over me. My world, I thought it stopped. All my dreams had dropped. No, this was not love or friendship. I was paralyzed.
Oh.
I was a vegetable in a chair, not even able to comb my own hair, get to bed by myself, or reach for something on the shelf. This made me realize that I took everything for granted.
Yes.
I came to heart and thought everything through. I came to the conclusion. I'm a little sad it had to happen this way, but I guess this is the way it should be. I thank you.
Thank you.
guys.
Oh,
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I can just see the process of coining all that.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I believe in God for that.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us, for
It's a
being
pleasure.
here,
It's a pleasure, guys.
for bringing light to depression. And it was really powerful. And thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Fifi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
I think a lot of people have learned out of this session, and it also helped a lot of people. And it also helped me, so that next time when I see symptoms from other people, I might just say, that's depression.
And it will help you navigating in and around it.
know how to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Guys.
We have finally came to the end of our session.
Yes.
Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, because we would love to hear your opinions as well. Comment down below if you've had depression.
Share experience.
Share your
know?
own
Yeah.
stories and experiences as well. Thank you so much. Until next time, we'll
This
see you.
has been the Young Adult Sessions.
Bye.
Till next time.